Hi WBC. In this September update, we have some big news, and that is we're planning to hold a church service here at the auditorium on Sunday, September 27 at 9:30 a.m. This will be part of a 3-month trial running up to Christmas, and the response to it will determine the steps that follow that. It may be that restrictions change within that time period, and if so, we will adapt. Now, we don't see this as a replacement for our online services. We intend them to continue, and we intend the quality to remain as it has been. But rather, we see this as a small addition for those who are keen to meet in person, even with the current restrictions. We see this too as something that will be similar to what was experienced the other week with the Millard Sleeman Evangelism Training Seminar. And so all the current COVID requirements, of course, will apply in terms of wearing a face mask, no singing, need to move away quickly after the service so that we're not mingling, 1.5 metre spacing and so forth.
It's been close to 6 months since we moved exclusively online, and we've always hoped and looked forward to this day coming when we'd be able to gather together once again. This is obviously not the full expression of what we're hoping for and what we will eventually one day be able to return to, but we felt like this was a step that we needed to actually take at this point. Partly that's because there are people for whom the online way of doing things just has not been working. There are people for whom the Sunday gathering in people's homes that we've been organising, that they're unable to attend those sort of things. And so there is an appetite to be coming back together in some form or fashion, and we want to do what we can to try and serve those members of our church who want to connect through this kind of way, obviously within our limitations. We do realise that this will not be optimal for some of you. This won't be the thing that you've been longing for the last 6 months with all of its restrictions and all of its limitations. And so if this doesn't appeal to you, then we want to say that's totally okay. Please don't feel any obligation to be back here at this Sunday gathering, particularly if you're somebody who's continuing to isolate and remain in lockdown for your own health and the health of those around you. This is really just for people who are looking for that physical gathering once again and are happy to bear some of the limitations that we have. And so if you're still a part of a regular Sunday gathering in someone's home, if you're enjoying the food and the fellowship and maybe even the singing and the conversation and everything else that you're able to do in those contexts, and we want to encourage you, please continue to do those. We're looking forward to seeing those continue to flourish in the next weeks and months. But again, we do hope that this will be a way of serving those people who've been missing out for the last few months.
So does this mean that as of the end of September we're kicking off weekly? Well, the answer is no. This is a trial and it depends on how things work. We need to work out the practicalities of pre-registering, so there'll be an opportunity on the website to fill in a form registering beforehand, because we will need to restrict it to the maximum of 63 at this stage. That's what our building allows for. We'll need to arrange COVID officers. We'll need to arrange sign-in as you come into the building. There'll be a whole lot of logistics that we haven't done this before, so we don't know what it looks like. And so the end of September is a trial to see how that works. We anticipate that it possibly will move to monthly, perhaps fortnightly, recognising that there are other language congregations that use the building as well in terms of the cleaning of the chairs in the auditorium. We're just limited to how many services we can hold in one day, so we're anticipating a cycle of maximum frequency, perhaps fortnightly. But the registration forms, as we work out the practicalities of that, they'll be made available on the website. You'll hear about that in the online services in the coming weeks. So don't fear. You don't have to go on tomorrow, otherwise you'll miss out. It's coming soon, but you will need to pre-register so that we can do this safely, but also knowing in advance who's coming. So, Yeah. So the other issue is that during that time, at least for the first week, we won't be holding a kids program in conjunction with the service. It's just something that we don't want to add that added complexity for the first time. There are other potential ways that we're looking into how we could deal with that, whether it is running a kids program in conjunction with the service, whether it's running a separate day just for the kids. So we're looking into those things, and we'll give you further information as we work those plans out. So hopefully that's an encouragement for some of you to continue doing what you're doing. But for those that have felt that you've been really missing out on something, hopefully this is something that will cater to that need as well.